just like real life. Oh man, oh this is so realistic. Oh holy fuck. Hey, how come I didn't get an Oculus Rift? Hey, sorry, we only had enough in the budget for one Oculus Rift. But would you like to know why I have this Oculus Rift? Because you're a rich asshole. No, that's not why. I'm actually fucking broke. I actually had to sell an organ and a kidney. Wait a minute, organ is a kidney. A kidney and a penis, my penis, for this Oculus Rift. I've already given them the kidney, but the penis is on hold. It's on standby. The way it's sort of like on layaway. But yes, it was very expensive. Okay, so don't come with me with your bullshit. Okay, but and also I was asking the audience. Hey audience, do you know why I'm wearing this Oculus Rift? Don't remind me that no one cares for me anymore because I got rebooted. I got rebooted because of the cinematic universe didn't like Sony's current Spider-Man. They didn't like it. They were like, oh, it's gross. We don't like it. We want to start from scratch. Now hold on, Harry Osborn. I realized that I was very harsh on you, but that's just because I was way into this virtual world thanks to the Oculus Rift, because it's so realistic. Right now, I am in this constructed world where I am on a TV studio talking about a movie that recently came out and talking to you about it. Oh, it's so realistic. Wait, if you're using virtual reality to simulate doing exactly what you're doing right now, then what's the point? What the point is that I'm simulating reviewing a current movie, a current one, as to a one that's been out for a long ass time, and only now are we actually talking about it. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, you're late as fuck. This movie came out at the beginning of April, and now April is fucking over. It's over. It's done. It got kicked in the ass and got stabbed. Now I have an explanation for that. And the explanation is that I had a whole shitload of other things to do, okay? Alright? I just talked about, removing my kidney, and I'm on the verge of removing my penis because I bought this Oculus Rift. So you can understand that this has been a very problematic time for me. And the Oculus Rift isn't even the most state-of-the-art virtual reality system out there. There's better ones, apparently. There's others that are getting better reviews than the one you have. Could you not rub it in my face, okay? Alright? I already signed away the rights to my penis, so I can't undo what's been done. And this bit has gone way too far, alright? Okay? I wish this was a bit. Oh god, I have no penis. Anyway, alright, so yes, now let's get to the reason why I have this Oculus Rift. The reason why. And it's also the reason why you are here, Harry. Why do you even bother with me? Why do you even bother? I don't matter anymore. No one cares about me anymore. I was going to have a future. I was promised to great things on the horizon for me. I was going to be in the Sinister Six. I was going to be in a whole bunch of Spider-Man movies in the Spider-Man cinematic universe. But then it got dissolved. It got dissolved by Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now it's been all reset and it all doesn't matter anymore, and it's all we're all pretending like it never happened. Like I never happened. Me, the amazing version of Harry Osborn. Well, didn't you pretend that the James Franco version didn't happen either? Shut the fuck up. I sense a little bit of hypocrisy, but anyway, you, in order to look to a bright future, you need to embrace your past. And that's why I wanted you to be here. Yes, I wanted you to embrace your past. Well, my past? Oh, I haven't looked back in a long time. Okay, I'll look back. My past. I remember my supervillain career was very different than how it is right now. Yes, it was. You used to be a completely different supervillain before you were the Green Goblin. Before I ever was the Green Goblin or even Harry Osborn, I went by a different name. My name was Andrew Detmer. Yeah, and instead of having goblin powers, which is absolutely nothing, you just look butt ugly and you're a little bit stronger than before, and you have a bunch of technology at your disposal, which you could have had anyway. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Before all that, I used to have a different type of supernatural ability. I had telekinesis. I could move things with my mind. Yeah, and it was awesome. And I also had a company with me. I had my cousin who was my best friend, and I also had a best black friend. But then something horrible happened. My dad kept being a friggin' dick. A horrible fucking dick, asshole, douche nozzle, to the point where he made me very mad and angry, and I threw a temper tantrum. Now, looking back at what I did, I do admit I was very irrational at the moment, but it was to make myself a supervillain. Yes, I was going to be the most awesome supervillain ever, until my cousin had to end it and be an freaking asshole and stab me with a statue. I really hate that. Well, you did kill the black friend, so you kind of had it coming. Yes, I know. So that was my first attempt at being a supervillain. But then I decided, you know what? I deserve a second chance. I need a second chance. I need to go at this again one more time. So I was resurrected at a price, though, because now I had a horrible disease, and the only way to get rid of the disease was to turn into a goblin. Well, that's fucking stupid. Of course it's stupid. You reviewed the movie, remember? Oh yeah, I did. Oh, that's right. I did review Amazing Spider-Man 2. I forgot. Oh yeah, man, that was almost 2 years ago by now. Jesus Christ, man, 2 years ago that happened. Yes, I remember it. I remember that movie putting me into a depression, but not for the reasons you would think. It was different reasons. Oh God. But why are you bringing this up then, huh, Graviton? Why are you bringing this up, okay? I have a lot of regrets back then, okay? Because telekinesis is way more of an awesome power than what I have now, okay? Back then, I could move stuff with my mind. I could move myself with my mind. I had flight. I could pick things up. I could do everything. I was basically God. And everyone else were these little measly ants compared to me. Are you jealous? Are you a little bit of jelly because I have the ability to control gravity? Well, it's not exactly the same thing. I could just move stuff with my mind. You can control gravity. It's not exactly the same thing. Tomatoes. It's similar enough to be comparable. So I wonder, are you mad at me because I have these powers that you no longer have? Oh, maybe I should put down my mug and my notes and my microphone. Huh? Maybe I should put them down to make you a little bit less jealous. Should I do that? No, keep being a blowhard asshole. I'm fine with that. It's just that I don't want to be reminded of it anymore. So I gotta ask, why are you forcing me to bring up my past? Well, Harry, the reason why I wanted you to look into your past was because there was something else of note back then. Not just that you had these powers to pick stuff up with your mind. I mean, I don't give a shit about that because I can do that any Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday. No, the reason why I brought you here and I am bringing this up is because of your expertise at filmmaking, because of your innovative filmmaking.
Innovative? It's not that innovative. I just shoot stuff as if it's being filmed found footage style. I mean, it's a very common way of filming stuff. In fact, it's so common that everyone is freaking tired of it, and they hate it. And then they're tired of it, and they want it to go away. And you've even had experience with the found footage film.
Yes, you're making me look back to other points of my past. Yes, I reviewed, Project Omnonac. Yes, I reviewed, Project Almanac.
And now you want to review another found footage movie? Jesus Christ. They used to be innovative once upon a time until everyone under the sun did them. Like Blair Witch Project was the one that popularized it, even though it was sort of done before with Hannibal Holocaust. And now everyone did it. And that's why it's considered dead now. That's why it's considered a dead art form. Because it used to be unique until everyone did it, and now it's not anymore. It's not fun to see it anymore. It was never, some argue it was probably never even fun to begin with.
However, I always go by the old saying, maybe I don't, or maybe it's a variation by this, but what I mean is, what I go by is that if there's something that's been constantly done before, it is still worth doing if you find a new way to do it. And I think I found that way!
Well, with the Oculus Rift?
No, but that fits the theme of this episode about first person type filming. Yes, because even though found footage films that you had experience with are from the point of view of a camera, it still technically doesn't count as first person. It's more like first camera type point of view. But it does have a lot in common with what we're talking about right now. Now, a lot of people consider this not to be a found footage film.
Consider what not to be a found footage film? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the latest, okay, well, it's not the latest movie, but a movie that came out about a month ago. Jesus Christ, where is the time gone? I'm talking about Hardcore Harry. Yes, Hardcore, wait a minute. Oh God, my mistake. I'm talking about Hardcore Henry. Yes, Hardcore Henry. Or as some people call it, hardcore. You wanna be hardcore? Yes, I'm talking about Hardcore Henry. A film that you believe is first person, which is a lot of what people call it, and a lot of people are like, "Ooh, this is new, this is innovative." But for me, I was like, haven't we technically seen this a bunch of times before?
Are you talking about the found footage movies we were just discussing?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. We technically have already kind of seen this before. You know, a movie entirely shot from a certain perspective. It's just the difference is, usually that perspective is from a camera that's within the universe of the film. But now, we're not even doing that. Instead, we're doing it from the eyeballs of a person. So you could say that this film is the first of its kind. However, there's a little bit of a twist in the movie. Now, it's not that big of a twist plot-wise, but it is big enough for me to talk about, and this is when we get into these spoilery territory. Now, what's not a twist is that this movie is from the perspective of a cyborg. Yes, a robot man. Yes, a man who used to be a dude until he was turned into a cyborg, thus making the eventual reboot of $6 Million Man, although now it's $6 Billion Man, of course, because of inflation reasons. Now because of that, now because of this movie, that movie there's no point in making that, okay? There's no point in making $6 Million Man anymore, remaking that with Mark Wahlberg, because we've already got this movie. Yes, that's about a man who was turned into a cyborg, into a cyborg. We got this instead. Although now that I think of it, to be fair, maybe it's still warranted to make that other movie, because then it's like, what would Hardcore Harry be like if it was not from the first person perspective? Okay, let's make that Mark Wahlberg $6 Million Man movie. When I first found out that this movie was not only from the perspective, first person perspective, entirely shot from the main character's point of view, I also found out that at the same time that this was going to be a cyborg. It was all over the trailer. So I thought, wait a minute. If he's half robot, wouldn't that possibly mean that his eyes act as a camera? Which technically means this is a found footage movie. Yes, it is a found footage film. And there's even confirmation in the movie. Yes, there's confirmation. There's a twist that that he's been secretly recording everything that he's been looking at. Everything, without even knowing it. Yes, and so that means that this is another a film in the archives of found footage films.
Oh great, another one. Is this one also going to ruin the careers of several people, including me and Josh Trank?
Well, it didn't. I wouldn't say that the career of Michael B. Jordan is ruined. And plus, you've got a little bit of stuff on the horizon too that we'll talk about later. But anyway, so the found footage film genre is still going strong, and I was always interested by it. I'm one of the few people who is still very interested in it and still thinks that there can be new ways to do it. And this film is an example of it, because this time around the cameras are in the fucking eyeballs. Yes, the eyeballs of a cyborg. And now let's get into that particular cyborg. This cyborg, of course, is the titular Henry. His name is Henry, and we start the film with him being woken up by his wife, who had to turn him into this cyborg. Yes, she had to turn him into this, and right off the bat, we realize that this is going to be a little bit different from those other found footage films, because this one has music in it. Yes, usually the found footage movies are all like, oh, we have to make this realistic, so there can't be any music. We can only have music in the credits, so fuck you, music, we're not going to have that. But here, on the other hand, they're like, you know what? We're going to take a little bit of liberties. You know what? Since this is kind of from his perspective and he's a robot, maybe there's music going on in his mind. Maybe we can hear his mind or something, okay? So we're going to put some music in there. And it's very 80s-esque sci-fi music, and this film is pretty much actually a tribute to the 80s, kind of like the Deadpool movie. It's a tribute to hardcore action sci-fi films of the 1980s. Yes, and appropriate enough, that's why they call it Hardcore Harry. So it's very much a tribute to the 80s movies, to the point where the beginning of the film decides, you know what, fuck this new way, this current way of making movies, where you save all the opening credits for the end of the movie. No, they're called opening credits because they're in the fucking opening. So let's actually do that. Let's actually open the movie with some credits, and we're gonna open it with a song from the 1980s. The door, let me down easy. The door, let me down easy. The door, let me down easy. Door, let me down easy. Let me. The door, let me down easy. Door, let me down easy. The door, let me down easy. The door, let me down easy.
Are you just gonna keep doing that over and over again?
Yeah, I would have stopped eventually, Maybe not, I don't know. Man, singing that song is like meth, okay? It's catchy as all fuck. So we get some comic relief, and then those comic relief are immediately killed, and we never see them again, because now we're being introduced to the villain of the movie. Yes, the villain. And he's not just any villain. Holy fuck, he's a fucking all-out super villain. Oh my god. Oh, so beautiful. Oh god.
You're really that crazy over the film's villain? He's kind of a he's kind of a one-dimensional, your basic bad guy of an action film.
And that's why I love him, because he is a tribute to all the one-note action movie bad guys of the 1980s. He's a tribute to all of them. He has a foreign accent, he's pale, he has bleached hair, he looks like he's been watching TV for like 72 hours straight. He's amazing. He's got a foreign accent that's vaguely European. I'm the villain of the movie. I am doing bad things. I'm the villain of the movie. I'm here to tell you that I'm the villain of the movie.
That's very offensive. I'm not sure to who, but I'm sure someone's offended.
Hey, don't be a buzzkill, okay? So anyway, yes. So not only is he a fantastical villain just in that, right? Like, if that was the only thing to that character, what I just listed, that would be fine. You know, I would be A-okay with that. But no, they decided, you know what? This doesn't go up to 10. This goes up to 11. This goes up to 11. Yes, and the thing that takes this up to 11, that he's already miraculously badass and wonderful and lovely cliched as all fuck. Just the perfect cheesy villain of all time. But they decided, you know what, let's crank this up a notch. Let's do it. Let's crank this up one more notch. By giving him a fucking superpower. Yes, they made him one of us. They made him like us. One of us. One of us.
Oh, really? And what power did they give him?
Oh, God. Nothing. They didn't give him any power. Never mind.
No, you said they gave him a superpower. So which superpower did they give this villain, whatever the hell his name is?
His name is Akin. His name is Akin, and he got no superpower. Never mind, let's just move on.
No. Okay, you said he was given a superpower, and I want to know which... Oh, no. Don't tell me. He has the superpower I no longer have. Doesn't he? He has the ability to move stuff with his mind, doesn't he? God damn it! Ugh, fuck!
Yes, it's true. Yes, he does have the power that you no longer have. He can pick shit up, and it's awesome. He's like me. Yay! We should go bowling together. Yay! And we'll never use our hands. We'll never have to stick our fingers into the holes of those bloody giant big metal bowling balls. Instead, we can just use our telekinesis. We can just use our minds. We'll be telekinesis bros. Telekinesis bros, friends forever.
Way to rub it in my goddamn face.
Oh shit, I forgot. Sorry. So yes, so Akin is running this evil corporation, this evil company, and he is going to make a whole army of cybernetic warriors, perfect specimens. Yes.
Well, wait a minute. What does it have to do with his powers?
Well, from what I gather, I believe that he does not have his powers organically, like I have them, or you temporarily had them.
Fuck you.
Okay, anyway, I believe that he got. I believe that that he got them cybernetically. He is also a cyborg, but he is an upgraded cyborg, where the machines in him allow him to control gravity, or at least control the gravity of people. Yes, that's what I believe is going on with him. However, he does not want all the cyborgs to have gravity. No, he wants to be the only one who can do that. All right, he wants all the other cyborgs just to kill people and shit and serve him. And now that the first experiment has been successful with Henry, that means he can make a ton more. But he needs to dissect Henry to see why he was so goddamn perfect. And Henry's like, no, fuck you. I'm getting the fuck out of here, and I'm gonna take my love interest with me. Let's go. What the fuck is her name? Estella. So they go into escape pod and they run away from him. But Estella gets captured by a bunch of Atkins' henchmen, evil henchmen. So what is Henry gonna do now?
Wait a minute, does Henry talk at all?
Nope, he's completely silent. He is completely silent throughout the whole film to give us more of a sense that we are the main character of the movie. Because if you give him a voice, you're reminded, oh wait a minute, this is not the perspective of me in the film. I'm not in the film. This guy's in the film because I keep hearing his voice. Instead, they leave him mute so we can so that's left for us to fill in the gaps. However, that does not mean he's a plot device in any stretch of the imagination. He still has his own personality shown from his hand gestures on how he reacts to the other characters. Yes, he is still very much a fully rendered character in his own right. Just not in the rights you would normally expect. It's in the ways of his mannerisms from his hands. Yes, since you never see his face or hear his voice, you're gonna have to rely solely on the hand movements, and I believe they did that very well, and we do get a little bit, not too much, but we do get a moderately well understanding of his personality from his hand movements.
So the star of the movies are his hands.
Well, not exactly his hands per se, because there is technically someone who's billed as the top star of this film, and that is Sharlto Copley. Yes, Sharlto Copley from all of those political sci-fi films, all directed by the same guy who got an Alien movie, but then Ridley Scott was like, no, fuck you, I'm gonna make the next Alien movie. So he's like, but I'm not talking about that asshole. I'm talking about Sharlto Copley. Yes, Sharlto Copley, who is known for being the star of all those movies. He's got a big old mustache, and at first, when we see him in the movie, now keep in mind he's all over the trailers, so you assume he's gonna have a big beefy role. But then when you see him in the film, he immediately dies a few minutes in. He just immediately dies. He's like there, and he's a hard ass, and he's like, hey, you fuckface. Hey, I need to rescue you, you freaking fuckface! And then he gets shot in the head and he's dead. His brains are on the walls and everything. He's dead. And I'm like, holy fuck! Oh man! It's weird that they advertise him as a huge major character, and plus he's played by Sharlto Copley. You know, Sharlto Copley, even though he's not well known per se, he's getting up in the world. He's been in a lot of things. He's building up he's building up a following a little bit. You know, he's slightly recognizable by now. You know, he's getting up there. He's been the star of movies and TV shows. So at this point, you legitimately believe, yep, he's done. That was weird, but yep, he's not in the movie anymore because the trailers only showed that part of it. Him showing up in those scenes right before he dies. So we the audience legitimately believe that that's it for Sharlto Copley. We're never gonna see him in the movie again. And oh boy, were we thrown in for a loop, because right after that happened, Sharto Copley shows up again. Yes, he's alive again, and this time he's a hobo. Yes, so this means that he's still gonna be in the movie, and this is when we realize, wait a minute, oh, he's not showing up just for a few minutes and then he's done. No, that was a mislead. He's the friggin' goddamn star of this movie. I mean, technically the main character is Henry, but he is the actor who we see the most. We see Sharto Copley the most in this movie.
But wait a minute, how can he still be in it if he just died? You just said he died.
Well, the answer is clones. Yes, cyborgs are not the only sci-fi element in this movie. There's also clones. Yes, clones. All kinds of clones. Now, it takes us a little bit of a while to figure that out. At first, it was like, oh, maybe there's just a bunch of robots that all look like Sharto Copley. But no, it's actually clones. Cybernetic clones. A little bit of a combination of clones and robots. Robots. Yes. And so we get a whole bunch of these different Sharto Copleys, all referred to as Jimmy. We get this Jimmy, we get that Jimmy, we get all kinds of different Jimmys, and they each have their own shtick. Yes, they're each a different part of, they're each a different tiny part that makes up a whole character. Yes, the first Jimmy that we saw that died, that we thought was the only Jimmy, was Police Jimmy. Yes, it was, I'm getting too old for this shit Jimmy. Yes, that was that Jimmy. But then he died, of course, so now he gets replaced by Hobo Jimmy. Yes, Hobo Homeless Man Jimmy. But he gets burned alive. Yes, he gets burned alive. Burned alive. Yes, so he gets replaced by friggin' asshole pervert Jimmy. Yes, pervert crack addict Jimmy. Yes, he's basically 1970s porn star Jimmy, who likes to hang out with a bunch of naked women. Yes, there's naked women in the movie too. Yes. Hey man, if you're gonna name a movie hardcore, then you might as well, go all out. You need to earn your title, okay? If you're gonna put hardcore in the title, you need to earn that. You need to be hardcore all the way. You're gonna have to be hardcore in the violence. You're gonna have to be hardcore in the cursing, and you're gonna have to be hardcore in the mature content. So that means boobies everywhere. Boobies. Boobies. I'm not sure if we saw a penis. We probably should have, just for the sake of equality, but boobies. But that's not the only reason why it's called hardcore. It's mostly because of this violence. And holy fuck, this movie does not hold back on the violence. They go for it all the way, man. They're like, hey, this movie's called hardcore, okay? We have to earn that by adding in as much creative violence as possible. They bring the violence up as an art form. Like, we need to do it in different techniques. We need to do it in different ways. We need to be innovative with each horrible, gruesome, bloody, graphic kill in this movie.
So what happens to porn star Jimmy?
Well, porn star Jimmy dies in a gunfire, along with two of these badass ladies. Yes, these badass ladies that are on the same side as Jimmy. They are also a resistance against this evil German dude, or Russian, vaguely European dude. I am the villain of the movie. I am here to be the villain. The word is the rogue.
Could you stop doing that?
Never! But yes, so the two badass female warriors, they survived that gunfight, but not porn star Jimmy. No, he gets replaced by hippie Jimmy. Yes, hippie dippy freeform Jimmy. He's like, hey man, fuck the establishment, dude. Hey man, oh man, let's smoke some weed, man.
Are you saying that weed smoking is only done by hippies?
No, it's done by fucking everyone. But I'm specifying for the sake of this for the sake of this hippie bit. Yo, dude, man, let's go to the forest, man. Let's go to the forest so I can have some a picnic with one of the badass lady warriors. But then the hippie dies. The hippie freaking explodes, and so does the lady warrior. She also explodes.
But what about the other warrior? What happens to her?
I have no fucking idea, and the movie never explains it. Or at least I don't think the movie ever explains it. Yeah, that was weird. It's like we had these two badass warrior ladies, and then one immediately dies, and we have no friggin' clue what happens to the other one. She just vanishes from the movie. I have no idea. But what I do know is that we get another Jimmy to replace that Jimmy, and now the new Jimmy is a covert Jimmy. Yes, he is a covert Jimmy covered in moss and shit. He looks like Chewbacca, and he looks like Chewbacca, and he's covert Jimmy, and he's like, hey, I'm Vietnam War Jimmy. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here and let's go to the secret base so that you can finally find out the reason behind all these Jimmys. So we finally get the reason why there's all these Jimmys, and the answer is that the person behind all of these scientific endeavors, the person behind all of them is the original Jimmy. Yes, Jimmy Prime. Yes, and even though he is the original Jimmy, I will not refer to him as Prime Jimmy. No, I'm going to refer to him as Cripple Jimmy. Oh, that's sad. You know what? I'm gonna call him Prime Jimmy because I'm sad because he's crippled. Yes, that's the whole reason why he made these clones, is because he can't walk. So because he can't walk anymore, because he's paralyzed from the waist down, actually he's paralyzed from like the shoulders down, he instead makes all of these clones that can walk, and he uses them as avatars. Yes, we're going back to James Cameron days, except this is a lot cooler because Chartocopolis are way a lot cooler to be in the mind of rather than a bunch of big old blue cat aliens. So he shows Henry his ability to jump into the minds of different Jimmy clones, and he shows a whole bunch of new Jimmy clones. He shows the nerdy Jimmy, he shows war soldier, World War II veteran Jimmy, like hip hip cheerio and all that teasing compets, hip hip cheerio, company march. And something that all these Jimmys have in common is that they love Broadway. So they do a musical number for Henry. I got you under my skin. And unfortunately, that musical number gets interrupted by the henchmen of Akin. Yes, he's still looking for blood. He still wants them to be captured, and he wants to kill all the Jimmys. Yes, he kills the covert Jimmy. Oh no! And the only Jimmys that are still alive are the nerdy Jimmy, the original Jimmy who is crippled, and the classic war and the World War II Jimmy, the hip hip cheerio, good man, jolly good sir, Jimmy. Yes. So they gotta nip this in the butt. Okay, they gotta go to the source. They gotta go to Akin's original company establishment. They gotta go to the source of the problem. They gotta go to where it all began. Yes, and they gotta defeat Akin because he's the one who crippled Jimmy. Yo, and one by one, the Jimmys all die. Oh God! Oh no! Oh, the World War II British soldier Jimmy and the nerdy Jimmy and all that's left is the crippled Jimmy, and the crippled Jimmy dies. Crippled Jimmy dies, and that's when we realized, you know what? This is probably Chartocopolis. This is the best thing Chartocopolis has done so far. This is his breakout moment. This is his breakout moment. This is it. This is a defining moment of Chartocopolis. This is probably what's gonna get him to the top. Chartocopolis.
Could you stop bragging on about Chartocopolis? God damn it, okay? I'm sure he just wants to keep doing small stuff like this.
Yeah, you probably have a point. So all is left is the villain of the movie. All is left is Akin to defeat. But surprise, that's not the case because while Henry was off doing his shenanigans with the Jimmy clones, Akin has been creating an army. Yes, he has made a whole army of cybernetic warriors. Yes, once he was done with Henry, it turned out he didn't need any Henry anymore. He had the backups. He had the backups of the backups. He had the backup plans. So he used those backup plans to create a whole army of cybernetic warriors just like Henry.
But how did he do it alone? Did he force the love interest to do it?
No, he didn't force the love interest to do it because she is not a love interest. No, as it turns out that Estella is not the former wife of Henry. It turns out that was all freaking bullshit. Yes, the reason why Henry no longer has his memories is because she did not want him to remember that he has no fucking idea who she is. Yes, she's never ever met her before. Yes, she's an actor. Yes, this was all a ruse. She's been working for Akin the whole time. They were working together. Yes, she's just as evil as him. Holy fuck. Holy shit! Oh, it's another throw for a loop! Oh my god! It was all a prank on Henry. And not only is she working for Akin, but also they're freaking horny for each other. Yes, they're making out and they're humping and they're like, and they're doing it purposely in Henry's face because Henry legitimately thought that he used to be married to her. So he naturally liked her. She's like, oh, I used to be married. I like you. Maybe we could get back together if I get my memories back. But no, she's like, no, fuck you. That was all fake. I like him, and I'm gonna make out with him now.
Are you working out some personal issues there?
No, I'm not working out some personal issues.
I'm just gonna let you keep talking about your movie.
Yeah, that's good. So now he's got to face all of these other cybernetic warriors that are just as good as him. But the difference between him and them is that he has had experience at this point. These are all freshly made cyborgs. They all have to still deal with how to be cyborgs and shit. But he has been on the streets, man. He has street smarts. And he had the training of Jimmy. All of the Jimmys. Police Jimmy, Hobo Jimmy, Porn Star Jimmy, Nerdy Jimmy, Hippie Jimmy, World War II Jimmy, Covert Jimmy, and Crippled Jimmy. All the Jimmys. There is even an undeveloped fetus Jimmy that he probably learned a thing or two from, even though it was just there being a fetus and all. He's learned something from all the Jimmys, and this helps him fight all of these cyborgs, all of them, killing all of them, stabbing all of them. They got back up, of course, but then he stabbed them all again and killed every single one of them to Queen music. Yes, Queen music, because that was such a big part of the trailer that they realized, you know what, if we don't put that in the movie, everyone's gonna give a shit, so let's just put that in the movie right there, and they did it, and that's done. And now all we have left is the villain. Yes, after he's done all this, Akin is pissed. Akin is freaking pissed. He's like, hey, wait a minute. I didn't get these powers for nothing. I have to actually use them now. Against Jimmy. Against Henry.
Have you been saying Henry when you meant to say Jimmy?
Sorry, man. Jimmy and Henry. It's so kind of, isn't it kind of similar to the point where I might confuse them? Anyway, so sorry for the confusion. I meant to say Henry, okay? If I said Jimmy after Jimmy is dead, odds are I probably said Henry, okay? I don't want to go back and edit. It's gonna be a bitch to edit, okay? So anyway, so all that's left is Henry versus the Akin versus every single 1980s sci-fi movie action villain. Now this is where it's the make it or break it point of the movie. This is the most important part of the movie. The villain's death. That is very important.
Wait a minute, we're villains. Shouldn't we be really sad by this?
Well, yes, sometimes. However, if you're gonna have a movie like this, which is very reliant on all kinds of creative, violent, ultra-violent deaths, very gruesome, blood-splattering deaths, if you're gonna do that, the most important one to consider of all of those deaths in the movie is the villain death. Yes, this is the most centrical one. This is the one where you have to put the most effort and consideration in. Okay, this is the one where like, okay, we've done all of these creatively gruesome deaths. How are we going to top ourselves for this? How is this going to be the big topping on the cake, the piece of the resistance? How are we going to do that? Well, here's the answer. You take your eyeball out of your socket. You take it out and you use the eye stalking to wrap it around the villain's head, and then you slice off the villain's head. And since this is a gruesome movie, you can't do it perfectly, okay? You can't do it perfectly. You have to do it really, really, really sloppily to the point where it's just his jaw, it separates by his jaw, and you decapitate him, and then you take the stocking, and then you take your eyeball, and then you plop it back into your socket. You plop it back in there, and that's how you do it. That's how you kill your villain. Yes, not only do you make it very gruesome for the villain, but you also make it more gruesome for the hero of the movie by using his own eyeball to kill the villain. Holy shit. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, that was so great. Oh, man. And it's all thanks to the Abomination. Yes, the father of Henry is the Abomination. Man, I keep forgetting to invite Abomination to the ones where he's actually in the movie. I'm sorry about that, A-Bomb. I'm sorry about that. I keep forgetting. Sorry. First I had him absent for Hateful Eight, then I had him absent for this. Yes, he's in the movie.
Yeah, but it's for a very brief scene. Why do you get a person like that just for a brief scene in the movie?
Well, his scene is very brief. It's like a few seconds long. It's like as long as we thought Sharlto Copley's role is. However, it's arguably the most important scene in the movie, because this is what drives Henry to keep going. Yes, when he gets his memories back, he realizes that his memories are not of being the husband of Estella, because once again, she's an actor. That was all a ruse. She was lying to him. She doesn't know him from Adam. No, she doesn't know him at all. No, the real memories that she was hiding from him, the real memories were of Tim Roth being his poppy, being his father, and telling him that he's got to look out for himself. He's got to beat some ass. Now, of course, that's a horrible lesson for any other movie, but for this movie, it's perfect. It's a good lesson, because everyone's out to freaking kill you. Well, not everyone, of course, like Jimmy, but when the ones that are out to kill you, you gotta fight back, alright? Don't take this for real life lessons, okay? I'm a fictional character, but you gotta fight back. You gotta fight against Zoolander's son. You gotta beat up Zoolander's son, okay? Only a few people will get what I'm saying. But yeah, you gotta fight back. And he uses that to fight against Akin and the robots. And he's got one more person left to beat. The person that betrayed him. That made him think back to that moment, because before it defeated him. It was the one thing that wrecked him. Yes, he thought he was impenetrable. He thought that he was this perfect cyborg warrior who was unimpenetrable, but he was penetrated. He was penetrated by the sting of realizing he was being duped by the woman he thought he once loved. And so because of that duping, it put him down in a rut. And he had to look himself in the mirror. The only time we ever see his face, although it's all fucked up and we don't see all of it, but we do see his face in the mirror. And that's when he's in the rut, and he needs the memory, the precious memory of his father to bring him back up, to give him the strength again, to give him enough strength to recover from this horrible penetration. Man, I this is a really poor choice of words, but you know what I mean. To deal from this horrible setback and get him back on his feet. And now that he's defeated all of these cyborgs and he's decapitated Akin with his eye socket, all is left is the liar pants on fire.
Why don't you call her a
No, we don't cross that line, alright? We don't cross that line.
I was just going to say
So all is left is her and him in this plane, and when she sees the sloppily decapitated head of her husband, she's like, "Oh, fuck you! I'm gonna shoot you! I'm gonna shoot you! Oh, wait a minute! I made you a perfect cyborg! Oh, fuck!" And so she accidentally falls off the plane, and she's holding on with her hands, and she's like, "Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Hey, we could totally make this work out, you know? I mean, I know I betrayed you, and I know I stabbed you in the back and all, and I know I made out with I made out with the villain and to rub it in your face. But hey, man, think about what you're gonna do next. Think about your decisions." And Henry's decision is to close the door on her and make her fall to her death, and now the movie's over, it's done, credit sequence, movie is over, yeah! So that's the movie, everybody. That's Hardcore Henry. I saw the movie about a month ago, and I still remember it that vividly. That's how good the movie was. Oh, man.
But isn't it kind of pretentious, though, for them to be like, "Oh, look, we get to be in first person"?
Fuck you, Harry Osborn. I bet you wish it was called Hardcore Harry. But no, I don't think they are up their asses about this being from the first person. You would think that they would be all over that, but really only the advertising that way. Only the advertising was expounding on, oh man, isn't this so cool that this is from first person? This is innovative. This is a new thing. We're gonna be in your face about it. And the reason why the marketing was that way was because they had to. They had to sell it on that. They had to make the movie bankable. They had to be like, oh god, we have to make money off this. Yeah. However, the movie, on the other hand, when you really get to the actual movie, it wasn't in your face about that. Mind the pun. No, it was actually presented like any other high-concept action movie of this caliber would be. It just so happens it's from the perspective of the dude. It's from the perspective of the main character. You know, they were just like, hey man, we just want to make a movie where it's in first person, and that's just, we just want to do it that way, okay? Alright, we're gonna put it on Indiegogo, and we're gonna do that, and we just want to make a fun film that's different. You know, they're not in your face like, oh look, we're being different. They're like, hey, you know what? This seems like a fun idea. Let's just shoot it and see what happens. Let's just see what happens. And that's why I like the movie, is that they're just like, hey, let's just make a fun movie. Let's just do it for the sake of doing it, alright? And that's what I like about it, is that it's not trying to be innovative. It's not trying to be a new way of doing things. It's just like, hey man, wouldn't it be fun if we made a whole movie from the perspective of the main character? Let's do it. And that's what I like the movie. And plus, that's not the only selling point of it. You know what? Even if this movie wasn't from the first-person perspective, it's still got other things to bank on. You know, like the charisma of Sartokopoli and the concept of cyborgs and stuff. You know, there's some new stuff here with that, and I much appreciate that. So let's now rate the movie. All right. Okay, so I'll give, alright, so Harry Osborn, would you rather, the folks at home watch this movie, or get your brains blown out, burn to death, explode, get shot while high on cocaine, get gunned down, and be crippled and then die?
Well, considering I didn't see the movie?
Oh shit, sorry, I forgot to ask you to see the movie. I've been distracted by the Oculus Rift.
Yeah, because of that, I don't give a fuck, alright? I already know, I've already lived the experience of found footage movies. I've been there, done that, and so I'm not interested. And plus, it's a harsh reminder of what I used to have, my former abilities.
Yes, it makes me very sad too.
Oh, thanks for the empathy.
Yeah, I'm really sad that I don't get to be telekinesis buddies with Akin because he died. But man, wasn't it so badass how he died?
Oh, fuck you.
No, sorry. Sorry. Oh man, I ahead of myself. So, I'm sorry, Henry. I don't even know anymore. Harry and the Hendersons.
You don't even remember my name.
Well, you have a similar name to the movie. Can you blame me?
I guess not, but still, fuck you, okay? This movie was just a harsh reminder of that. So no, fuck this movie.
Well, me on the other hand, I do recommend it, instead of dying multiple times like all those Jimmy clones. Plus, Henry, I believe that even though your career as a telekinesis-themed villain is over, and so is your career of being a goblin villain-themed villain too is over because you've been rebooted and you will be inevitably replaced by a new Harry Osborn. Maybe you'll be played by Eka Butterfield. I don't know, whoever the fuck that guy is. You are done there. However, there is still hope for you. You still have stuff in your horizon, alright? Unlike Eka, who has been horribly decapitated, you are not decapitated. You've still got a lot to live for.
You're right, I do. You know what? Fuck this being a supervillain. I'm gonna go to outer space, and I'm going to go work with the guy who made the Fifth Element. Yeah, he's gonna be my new best friend. And I'm gonna hook up with the Enchantress from Suicide Squad, and I'm also gonna hang out with Rihanna, and it's gonna be awesome. Screw you guys! Fifth Element, here I come!
Oh, I did not expect to turn out that way. Holy fuck. Oh, man. Oh, I'm gonna miss that guy. Maybe it's for the better. Apparently there's an apocalypse happening, and maybe it's better if he doesn't experience it. Maybe it's better if he's safe from it. That guy's going places. And I remain here, reviewing movies. Man, I gotta rethink my life. I gotta rethink my life so much. Oh, I gotta be a classic supervillain again. Because the next time you see me, we are going to review the latest attempt to make video games into movies. Yes, even though we've gotten a lot of big old cluster fucking bombs, they're still trying to do it. They're still trying to make the good video game movie. They're still doing it. And the hint as to which one this is no, it's not Ratchet and Clank. I'm giving that over to Blob. And no, it's not Angry Birds. I'm not giving that to Blob because I don't want to kill him. No, instead, I'm going to talk about the one that's live action. Yes, you probably know which one I'm talking about. But as you know, that's going to be a long-ass time away from right now. It's going to be a very long time until that particular movie comes out. And because of that, I'm going to go on a little breaky break. But that doesn't mean this is the last time you'll see me till then. Yes, because the way I'll be re-evaluating my career as a villain is by examining other people's villain careers. Yes, and you will see me do that in the many months to follow. I'll see you then. Okay, I decided that I was going to review another Cyborg movie with you. Holy fuck, you still exist? Hey, I've been away for a while. I want to review another cyborg movie with you. Too late. God damn it. Hey, we got that Mark Wahlberg movie. We can review that. No, fuck that. I am leaving forever. Have fun with your Armageddon. Why do people keep talking about that? Where were you for Terminator?